it's like a massive. If they can't do it in the States where stuff was invented, it's much even harder here. You got to find your own lane. That's really the only way I can think. That's what I've always said to anybody I try and kick it with. Is you got to find your way to make cash in this. Because I feel like as an industry, the States is in a mess too. They get even less money than us for teaching. Like crazy OGs, guys who made up stuff, told me secrets. They're out there getting like $2.50 per student. You know, like this is sad. But anyway, it's a real hard industry. You're better off being an accountant. But if this is something you got no choice out of and you got to do, then you got to try and find your lane. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? If someone had a different opinion, I could be wrong on it. But I just think that I don't think the secret is to elevate the dance or the community. I think it's for you to find your lane and you can sort of set an example of what you want to be in your hustle. That's what I think.
Yeah, I was even thinking about, often there were a lot of people that didn't like what I did or didn't classify me in the popping scene. Also, I probably had that obstacle of being female. It didn't stop me. Nothing's going to stop me. You know, I come from a background where there was a lot of racism, so everything else is like sweet. You can call me anything, I don't care. And I'm older now, so, you know. And on that collaboration thing as well, and finding my own lane and stuff like that, there was even a show called Ozbop, and I toured with them, and I was the token break dancer. They thought I was a break dancer, and which I was popping and waving all throughout whatever part I had in the show. And they had numbers like, Pink Cadillac. I don't know if you know that song. That was the song I would come out and do my little thing. And there were singers and jazz dancers in that number and musicians on stage. And we had this fake pink Cadillac. So I think what made me have a career in it was that I was unafraid to do things outside of my box. Especially because other people were kind of hating on me. But anyway, in the end it's been good. I feel that emotionally and as a performer, I expanded a lot more than a lot of other people, and I had more range, there's more of me out there. I was even in a Cuban dance company and a Brazilian dance company, and I do their dances supposedly so well, people think I'm actually from their country. This is what a lot of people said to me. But then they found out that I did popping, and they were like, oh, can you put that in the show? Oh, please put that in there. And they found out I was a rapper as well. Oh, put that in. But I'd always have to stop them and say, look, yeah, I'll put it in, but I've got to change my clothes. Because authenticity meant a lot to me. I'm not going to pop in a dress. I'm not going to do that. I'm not a girly type of person. It's just not my way, and I feel more of what I do because of what I'm wearing. The costume, if you want to call it, is important to me. What I'm wearing is really important.
Just a question as well. So how should we dress usually now? Because back in, I guess, 80s, there used to be suits or
yeah, there was.
Yeah, so how should we kind of dress now? We're wearing fine right now.
Clothing is. That's a really important point, because clothing is a bit of a sticking point with me. Maybe because I come from a fashion design background as well. And I find often it's really hard because I'm not dressing strictly the way I used to back in the day. I used to wear suits. And I know it doesn't look like, but I did. I wore suits. And I was very influenced by Dario. Dario wore the most beautiful zoot suits. And two-tone shoes and the most fabulous hats. And he taught me how to hold a hat and gloves and all sorts of things, and he would take great pride in his clothes. But then you've got Roger G that would do the stuff. He was dressing like Michael Jackson, and I was making the costumes. You still have to do your own thing, but even this image here is more hip-hop than from the popping scene. So people do get a bit confused. It's kind of a hard thing, but I must admit I feel more like a popper when I'm dressed a certain way. But then again, as I said, as a street performer, busking, whatever, I'm doing lots of different things. And at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable, and it does get pricey having costumes. I know because I make them. People pay me to make them. So when I get back out there busking later in the year when it warms up, because I ain't doing it in winter, it's definitely way too cold. You get too many injuries. I'm going to be making a few costumes and maybe props and stuff like that. So, and I know that the guys that I saw in LA last week or whenever it was, they have costumes and props. Like one of the guys, he's sort of in this bronze outfit and he's sprayed all of his, the clothing in a bronze paint, and he bronzes his face with some kind of, you know, like the silver men do. And he has a pipe, he has a fake pipe, and like a colonel's hat or something like that. That's Gizmo. Gizmo's fabulous dancer. And then Sheepman has a gold outfit and he gold paints his face. And then Midnight, he has he has a black stocking over his face, and he has like a whole black and white outfit, and he has like a white bow tie, and he's hooked up to a fake battery by a wire, and people think it's a real battery. So this comes into the whole character thing as well. It's good to add things. Don't just look one way. You know, have a costume, have a character. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one time, this was in Taiwan, and I asked one person, hey, why do you always wear the same hat? And like, he just said, oh, it's part of my signature. It's like a character to me. When people see me, they know that is me and my style, how I dance with it, and how I use this hat. So, and then I look back and say, hey, oh, Danis Kool like wears his hat and scarf, something like that. And, so like, I always see that like Danis Kool always wears this stuff where he is when he's dancing. So like, okay, I can tell sure that's Danis Kool. And so like, and I thought about it more. The clothes you wear is like very important to us. So like, I might like have like even like maybe I wear the same shoes that I wear to dance. Someone has like wears their hat in a different way, or like they wear their like a jacket, or even Jack like wears a hoodie and every time I see him.
It's like a branding thing.
Yeah, branding thing. And like the poppers, like they would want to wear their hush puppies or like their Boogaloo pants or something like, or the China poppers would wear their V brand or something like that. But yeah, I just feel that like the clothes you wear is very important to us, whatever it may be. Like it's always like they see you as that kind of person, that character.
Definitely. And it's.
Dennis, can I say something too?
Yes.
You know, in terms of exposure too.
We get back on track.
Is that exposure we're talking about?
Yeah.
Now you're getting back on track.
Yeah, like in terms of exposure, I think like, I mean, if it's possible, like you guys meet like monthly, like, you know, once a month, everyone just turns up, Darling Harbour. It's a day, everyone's got to make the effort to go there and just have a big jam, and then, you know, you just do it on a monthly basis, and everyone make the effort to turn up, because, you know, I think sometimes, you know, I mean, you guys have such a great craft, but, you know, you're sort of confined to the studios, and I know a lot of them, you know, dancing, you know, at the entertainment centre now. I think that's fantastic, you know. I think you need to take it out to the street a bit more, you know, even like, say, today, you know, you're having the finals of the, you know, the All-Stars. I mean, why does it have to be in here? Why can't it be out in there? I know there's a lot of logistics involved, but I think, I mean, you know, it's such a shame that it's not being taken out somewhere where the masses can see it, you know.
Finals will be outdoors. Is it, Jack?
isn't it? Permits.
Yes.
You may need permits from the council and may not.
Well, one thing that
That's right.
I haven't known America too is midnight seems to think that I've got to create an Australian Boogz people.
I was thinking Dino.
Popcorn chicken and pop.
Exactly. Awesome.
You know, you're not always going to have permission to be where.
Just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I guess in terms, I just go back in terms of exposure, like how many people actually like regularly teaching here, like teaching classes so Jack, G, Johan, Kris, my way.
I haven't taught Ceci.
Yeah.
So it's like who's teaching like just like a crossover, like everyone who's teaching outside crossover, outside of dance school, outside like youth societies and stuff, like outside.
Literally outside.
Literally, not intentionally. As in outside our community.
Oh.
Outside our community, our circle. Like youth centers and stuff. Yeah, high school stuff.
Oh, I did that, and I made sure that I taught in a lot of different places.
Kai did it before. Kai did it. Yeah.
On basis. Because I guess there's so much potential in in that market to really kind of get some next generation. I know Jack is doing. He's teaching how many classes, different places. Every day. So almost every day.
But almost every day.
And I know like you're teaching at the youth center as well.
Yeah.
Teaching youth center and now you feel like people like Hugo coming up and like the next generation pretty much. And I guess it's good that we kind of centralize in the city, but we should kind of round off within our own community. Feel like our punch bowl. So start something punch bowl. Start something in Canberra, Fairfield and stuff. You know, it's.
Gospel.
I think Alan maybe
That's good.
doing it. Someone doing it. Question? Kaz.
Yeah, like, why is it that it seems that there are places like Liverpool, Youngtown, stuff like that, that there isn't much of a scene there as it is in the city? Like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is there a reason why?
I think there's a scene there. We just haven't discovered it.
But
Yeah.
if there was a scene there, why haven't we heard about it?
Because they maybe consider their own scene as the main street, you know, the main scene. Just like where we go, the city scene, this is the main street, like the scene here. So we just need, I guess, bridges or like even someone teaching there. Go, hey, this is the whole scene. Because I know Black Tanya, they're really keen with the choreo stuff, choreo competitions. They're the whole scene, but not many. I guess many of us are kind of like tapping into that potential. So there's in terms of exposure, there's a lot of things we can potentially do. It's like, yes, we've got a lot of uni societies and they're pretty big now. So we're kind of targeting that, and that's been like established for many years now. And if you look at in terms of the b-boy scene, like you look at Paragon has a scene, Bankstown has a scene, Northern Beaches has a scene. You know, we just centralize in the city, and that's pretty much it. And we just need to kind of get out there and start something within our own community.
I think for exposure videos as well. I guess, I mean, I discovered that just from watching videos as well. I think
It is because the internet, like, it's so big now. Like anyone can watch anything and get connected with anyone. So when we were kind of during the dial-up stage, YouTube wasn't there, so it took ages to really download stuff. So it's not instant. So it takes a bit longer. And then, but now the internet, everyone has a smartphone, everyone can YouTube.
I just thought of something else. Meetup.com might be a good way to organise some kind of game.
Meetup.com, keep that in mind. and because he posts videos up on the YouTube.
Very good.
How many hits do you guys get?
Not much.
Not much. Not much.
Maybe 100.
100. That's a lot for.
But I think like people post videos on Instagram. I think Jason posts like Poppin.
I think I've got about 100,000 views, you know, across the board, but you know,
But
there's a,
I think the
It
point
is-
is it's there.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's there.
discoverable.
it's exposing our scene to the world, you know what I mean? So I suppose.
Because there's a lot of tutorials online as well, and then there's this one. Does anyone ever heard of James Barry? James Barry? James Barry? James Barry. He taught at DG, fly crew there, and he's not, I guess, in our community. And you look at his tutorials, you look how many views he's got. You know, it's like, I mean, like 100,000 or something. A lot.
When I see on the Poppin website, there I work in the field with the dancer, and then none of the kids. So maybe you can put they got Brandon, they got Giant, they got Nancy, they got, you know. I mean, that would be good for them, I mean, to create friends and everybody to start. I don't know.
Well, I guess for me, with the whole like us talking seeing stuff in the podcast is to kind of document the scene as how it is at that particular time, and my goal is to interview everyone in the scene eventually. So this question is when. The question is when. And I know, like, I guess Brendan and John, they're a bit younger, and I guess their outlook of the dance changes very often. And anyone is good as well, talking about that. It's very good. I definitely know, like, the interview that we did with Alan, it's completely different to if we do one now. So it will come soon. Come soon. Yeah. Because when the website itself is trying to, I guess we're using it as a, Mr. Yuli. I guess the scene is at the moment it's kind of used as we're trying to do it as like a hub thing for the community. And for anyone that's from overseas, kind of go, okay, what's Australia? Type Australia Popping, and then that comes up, and then it kind of links everyone. But at the moment, we haven't really kind of tried to kind of go beyond the community. So it's something we can think about as well. Anything you want to add, Jack, or make videos?
I think you guys need to hit the like local suburban dance schools a bit more, you know. 'Cause I remember when you know, we were at LA Talent one time, and I told the owner, I said, you should try and put some popping here, and she was like,
What is this?
it's just the attitude, you know what I mean? And to be honest, my first exposure to popping was at 360 when I saw Jaya. When I saw Jaya, I was like, Brandon's gonna pop. So I think that's what, you know, you need to get exposure. That's why I'm saying, you know, if you guys are dancing out on the street, people are going to buy them, and they'll be like, man, that is so cool. I want to learn that, you know. I think that's, you know, that's one of the most important things, just getting out there. And I think changing the attitudes of a lot of the dance stores, you know, just jazz and tap. That's all it is.
I
ballet,
had
you
that
know.
battle.
And that's great, but you know, popping is just awesome. You know? I mean, I pursue Brandon's popping because I love it. You know, I actually enjoy popping more than breaking. You know, that's why I keep going to all these events, because I think popping is just phenomenal. It's a beautiful dance. You know.
Yeah, I had that battle with conventional dance studios for many, many years, and I knew I was going to have the battle because I come from ballet. But yeah, I managed to get in a lot of places. There was even one very famous ballet studio that used to be just over there, and that building's been torn down now, and they've got a fancy hotel. And the ballet studio was downstairs, I was teaching upstairs, and I can remember hearing, because I was like, where are my students? You know, this dance studio, they were teaching like ballet, upstairs was jazz ballet and other forms, and even jazz ballet at a certain point was considered a rebellious form. Like ballerinas weren't allowed to do ballet, jazz ballet. So, you know, they employed me, how could I put it, as a form of rebellion. And anyway, I was wondering where are the students? I'm standing there waiting for students, and then someone said to me, oh, in this building you'll only get ballerinas, but the problem is they're not allowed to do anything else but ballet. They can't do jazz ballet, they can't do contemporary, they're just not allowed to. But I just stuck in, and I just kept coming each week. At the same time I was employed too, I got paid anyway. And eventually the girls snuck upstairs, even though that they were not allowed to be there. And it was so funny because I tell them to line up and they're doing this. And I'm like, no, first position. Like this. And it was hilarious adventure. And I had to convince lots of studios because I didn't have management. At one stage I even put on a fake name and a fake voice, and I would ring places and say, I'm representing Rap Attack. She's a teacher, a dance teacher, and this is what she does. And they were like, no. And I just kept doing it, and eventually I won. And eventually I was and the other thing is too, sometimes I didn't have to be employed by the studio. Sometimes I would advertise myself and go around leafleting, and also from the busking as well, people would recognise me and come along. We didn't have the internet then, of course, and I would hire the space. So I'm responsible for hiring the space, taking the money from the people and teaching. And that worked really well. And also, I went to people's homes and taught them one-on-one. So, and sometimes even like 2 or 3 people at their homes, and I would travel quite far to do that. So I didn't stay in the city at all, and I got paid really well.
Is that what you kind of do, Jack, as well? Like, you hire places, your business, okay, I'll keep that. So, and you want to go, Kris?
Talking about like outside, one battle that I used to love going to, and it's outside, was N2S. I'm not sure what happened to it, but I remember it started at like 4 p.m. and then it goes all the way until morning as well. It was really awesome. I used to love going to that. I get in trouble as well because I show up like back on my 10. But yeah, I don't know, something like that if they remind me, I think it would be nice. I mean, the crowd was huge there. But sometimes the guys get in trouble because the security Jolly Harbor now is like, hey man,
Yeah, it's all
why
right.
you get jacked there?
And it reminds me like in Melbourne, what's that event? Street run. Sydney Street. We did one Sydney Street run in mid 2000 something, and it was just like on the spur of the moment. We just moved from different places to places, and the crowd, the atmosphere was fun because everyone's kind of, it's one big circle, everyone's trying to kind of watch in, and then it draws more people in. And I guess we should try to do something like that in the future as well. Because in Melbourne, I know Melbourne, they did like city sessions?
Yeah.
And what they did was each prelim round was, or each round of top 16, there was moved to a different location. Maybe we can bite the idea and do something similar. But I guess the difference is the permit stuff, because in Melbourne, I guess the council, like they put it on for them. If we do, we have to do rogue style. So something we can kind of do in the holidays or next week or the week after. with Junior Boogaloo, yeah. Junior Boogaloo's class this Friday, coming Friday. Come check it out.
Plugging things with quite more later.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Wait, had a question. You want to go?
No question.
What happened to the panel?
They had to put information stuff. Question, wait. Okay, so I guess the next part is the teaching part, because if we are gonna go and teach within our community, like the question is, I guess with a lot of people would say, is this person eligible? Oh, this guy's not that good, he shouldn't be teaching. And I personally feel if the person teaches what they know, then it's fine, If they're trying to teach what they don't know, then it's maybe a different story. And then it comes back, keep in mind is that if you're teaching, you're taking an opportunity of a different person that you can potentially teach. So it's what that type of balancing and balancing stuff as well, you know. Because I know a lot of people when they kind of get to that phase, they're like, yeah, I want to teach everyone, you know. I want to go online and teach people. I'll go to like go schools. Hey, you want to learn popping? You want to learn popping stuff? So everyone's a bit eager beaver at that one stage, you know. Yeah. Because it's new day, it feels so cool, and I want to do it. And you have to kind of think about it. You have to kind of take a step back, you know, and kind of go, okay, I guess one, doing the dance justice.
And here's another point too.
You can be a good dancer, but a shit teacher.
That's right.
Yeah.
I honestly, my opinion of me, I'm a shit teacher, and I'm a reasonable dancer. It's amazing how many people will come up to me 20 years later and they feel I did a good job. I don't feel I did a good job. I was just one of the few people back then. I think there was one major teaching school, what were they called? Rap City. And they used to teach popping and breaking and whatever else. And I was outside of that. So there wasn't many people teaching in the 80s here in Australia. Oh, and Daria. But I don't think he even taught that much. He was more of a mentor to me anyway. He never taught me, just mentoring. So, yeah, it's a really hard thing too, because I've often seen people, they're advertising that they're teaching and they haven't been dancing for very long. And I honestly find it very disturbing the amount of people that are teaching that maybe shouldn't. Teaching is a skill. You know, it's not just that you're good at what you do, you have to be able to teach. I know that there was one particular guy in the 80s that I performed with many times, and he was a really crap dancer, really, really terrible, lovely person. So I couldn't say, look, you're a shit dancer, because he was just so nice. And I went along to see him teach one day, and I was honestly really surprised. He was actually teaching people, and they were learning, and they were better than him. And I thought, how is this even possible? So sometimes things are on a whole different level. It's sometimes best not to judge the situation. You may not know until you see. So you're thinking it's one way, but it might be something else. Just my thoughts. And I am quite an opinionated, you know that. You know that. I'm quite opinionated, and I say a lot of things that are a bit cruel. When I first got on the B-Boy forums, I was a bit mean to quite a few people and about the scene generally.
Yeah, I remember I saw a kid put up that he was teaching. I'm not gonna say his name, but I saw that a kid was teaching, and I was moments away from being like, "You suck. You can't teach." And his thing was like, "I don't know what I'm doing. Come, we both shouldn't know what we're doing. Let's just all have a good time." And I was real mad, right? This is when I was like kind of a jerk in the scene. You suck, right? That was when I was in that stage. Anyway, you know how you go through that stage. Anyway. And I saw this thing, and he was like, "Yeah, we can all learn together." And I was all ready to be like, "Yeah, but if you teach someone, if someone takes a math class, and you teach them 1 + 1 + 1 is 3, that's fine. But if you teach them 1 + 1 is 3, then you're messing them up for the future, right? And you could get some bad habits, right? And I was all ready to go on this thing. And then I remember when Jack first came to my classes, like 10 years ago, whatever it was. You know what I used to teach him? I used to teach him the wackest stuff. Like, it was like this, like, this was like a move. Something like that, yeah. See? Like that. Something terrible like that, right? Like, yeah. Look, yeah. That was the routine for like 8 weeks or something. We had to learn that over and over. Anyway, I was super whack when I started. There's no question, right? And so even like through such a whack class, right, with a whack teacher, because that's 100% what I was, even still Jack shows up and smokes it, and now he's the illest dude in town, right? But all I'm saying is that yes, there are definitely whack teachers who shouldn't be teaching, but what are you gonna do? And something good can come out of it, you know what I mean? There's no need. There was a time in my life when I would have been at the end of a class like, "Yo, let's battle. you're whack. Like, you know, you got, look, like I was saying before, the whole deal is you just gotta find your lane in this scene and just do you. And it'll you know, and you do you, and people come to you, and people mess with you, and people won't mess with you. But there's no, I feel like it's, at